Everybody. I'm happy to see that so many new artists are here tonight. Just thought I would just give you a quick update. A lot of you know, but maybe some of you don't, that in March, Placer Artist Tour became a federally approved 501c3 corporation. So we're very proud of that fact. We've come a long way in 2 short years. I don't know if any of our other board members are here. The board is made up of myself, Janet Nicholson, Janet Palig, Cindy Strickland was kind of hovering there with Joe for a minute, and Stuart Feldman. Helen Phillips, our founder, I don't know if she was planning to be here tonight, but we're really, really thrilled that after 30 years, Helen Phillips is still a guiding force for this tour. Rebecca Martinez, who's organizing this tonight, is our communications director, and Teresa Swerdlow, who's most sorrowfully is traveling in Italy tonight, so she can't join us, but she is our marketing director. We now have an office for Placer Artist Tour at 1 California Street in Auburn. So if Janet Nicholson and I are usually there on Tuesdays and Wednesdays, you can drop by, let us know, and check it out. And so it's the largest tour ever. We've been increasing every year for the last 3 years. We have 119 artists, 16 galleries and schools, 80 locations, and 30 artists that are new to the tour, which is literally a 50% increase. We usually have about 20 new artists every year. So thank you all that are joining us this year. We really, really appreciate it. I think now I'm just going to hand it over to Janet Nicholson. I'm sorry, to Rebecca, who's going to talk about the importance of communications. Well, and unless anybody has any questions about what I just said.
If you have a question, just unmute yourself and pipe up, I think.
I'm piping up. You guys did some serious work to do what you did, and major love and thank yous to you guys for making that happen. It's just really amazing the amount of work that you guys accomplished. So
it is. We founded a nonprofit.
I know, that's amazing. Oh my gosh, you guys are just incredible.
Thank you, Jay. So I am very impressed, carrying on with what Jay says, at how all of the functioning of the tour and everybody who has their specific tasks within the tour has been working more and more like a well-oiled machine. And you know, Janet and Karen have been doing a great job of kind of orchestrating and overseeing and getting all the puppets to dance in the right direction. And it makes it easy for the rest of us who are working with them, especially Teresa, Jenny, and I at this point, and Janet Palig, to have our tasks and get them done, and hopefully make sure that nobody feels left out or ignored, and that everybody feels like they've joined a really amazing artist community. I think that's one of the things I really like about the tour, is that we all kind of get to know each other and work together, refer to each other, and it's a fantastic community. And of course, communications is rather key to this whole thing. Now, my email for the tour is admin@placerartisttour.org. So you'll see a lot of correspondence come from me. I also receive a lot of correspondence. I am like the big correspondence funnel. Stuff comes to me and then I kind of spew it out to whoever might need to see it. Hopefully I've been, it's a little bit against my nature to be good at thanking people right away in writing, but I've been trying to keep up on that and make sure that when people pay or pay for their fee or pay for their sponsorship, they are acknowledged right away so that everybody has a real clear idea of where they stand. Now, we are using Constant Contact to communicate with everybody. So when you see those Constant Contact emails from Placer Artist Tour, you want to make sure you go ahead and open them. A lot of times they'll have important deadlines or reminders about things that you might want to make sure you get done. We do have a really important one coming up right now. It's probably going to go out tonight or tomorrow. And that is to all of the artists who participated in the plein air events that that the tour and the land trust coordinated. The 3 walks that we had. If you went on that walk, raise your hand. Went on any of those hikes? Okay. Huh. Thought I saw more people out there. Anyway, it was a great time and it was great fun. And I actually personally I normally do polymer clay things, but I'm actually working on a painting. Shock.
Yay.
Yeah, I'm working on a painting for the show. There's going to be a show during the month of July at General Gomez Arts and Events Center, and that call to artists will be going out. It'll be kind of an invitation show to the artists who went on one of the 3 events, and then it'll probably be opened up to other plain artists. So if you didn't go on the event, don't despair. If you have photos or art or artwork, or I guess even sculptures, jewelry, 3D work that's inspired by plein air, you'll be invited to participate after June 12th. Karen, what am I forgetting here?
Well, Janice is going to cover important dates later, but we are working on updating the online artist resources section of our website.
That's true.
Yes. Which will not be password protected this year.
No.
Round of applause, please.
Yeah.
And when that is ready, that'll be another email. We're going to try to not give you too much information in each email. Each one will be pretty topic specific rather than you getting too much stuff thrown at you at once. So
tiny bites.
We'll be pacing them.
Yeah, baby bites.
That's probably the only thing. I don't know who was going to mention it, but I might just mention it now. We are going to have a meeting of all the new artists on July 11th at the General Gomez Arts in Auburn, 4 to 6 p.m. But you new artists will be getting the invitation for that, and our regional leaders are already starting to get in touch with people. So don't despair, help is there. And with that, I think if you can't think of anything else, Rebecca, we can.
I might say one other thing, and this is kind of for the new artists, and the tour has a pretty slick method of sort of, once again, going back to those baby bites. Depending on where you're showing, you are part of a region, and each region does have a regional leader, and those regional leaders have really snapped into
what Janet's going to talk about.
Yeah. So yeah, sorry, Janet. Okay, zip it up.
Hello, everyone.
May I interject something before we get started on the big stuff?
Sure.
This is Nick.
Hi, Nick.
Yeah, hi. I'm in North Carolina now, so it's 9 o'clock here in the evening. So I thank you for putting this on Zoom, because it makes it easier for artists who are away to be a part. I wanted to mention that there's a FAM Fest. It's this Family Art and Music Fest put on by Eric Chun and Lindsay from the Senior Center. And I'm trying to get my thing up. Eric might be looking for some artists to display their work there. So if you're interested in that, I'm going to give you Eric's number. It's 530. Let me get my glasses. Sorry. Just have a pencil and paper ready. 530-613-9440. The theater at the Auburn Library, and it's going to be pretty neat. He's got several groups from the Auburn Symphony playing there, and a headliner music songwriter coming in from LA, and some of our local groups like Ukuleles and a few other singers, and art. And the benefits, it's a benefit for the DeWitt Theater and Community Center that it'll become when it's restored, and also Senior Center and some of the music groups in Auburn. So call Eric if you're interested in that.
Can
So
you
Nick-
repeat the phone number, please?
You can put the phone number in the chat box, Nick.
Maybe I'll do that. Yeah,
Yeah, that's a good idea.
right.
All right,
And it's kind of, and I know the Arts Council's been promoting it. I think our group has. It's hard to keep up with everything when we've been here for.
It's on our
Okay.
newsletter that went out, yes.
Yeah,
Oh,
it was
good.
on the newsletter. Thank you, Nick.
Great.
All right,
All
so
right.
Janet?
Yes. Hi, everyone. I'm really happy that so many people are on the tour this year. It's very exciting to have this group throughout Placer County. And one thing that really helps pull us all together is by meeting in regions. So this has happened for the last few years and it's getting stronger. We have 6 regions this year with regional leaders. And by working as a region, you really can get to know the artists in your region and support them. I can tell you that Colfax and Meadow Vista, we have Barbara Ann Chestnut. I don't believe she's here now, but I'm not sure. Anyone who is a regional artist, if you want to speak up when I say your name, that would be great. Patty Pierre-Pandong is heading up Auburn, which is a huge region this year, and she's holding a meeting coming up soon where I'm sure she will be looking for people to delegate to for different chores. Sue Bordelon, who is here, and she's going to be working with Tracy Cottingham, who is a brand new artist this year. So Tracy really, is going to be a huge help, but Sue has the experience and she ran the tour back in, we forget the date, 2014, I think, something like that. So they're going to be a team working in Loomis, Penryn, and Newcastle, which is also a large group this year. Lincoln area is going to be Gia McNutt, who ran the tour last year. So I know you're familiar with her, a number of you are. And she's in charge of Art League of Lincoln these days. So she's taken on Lincoln as her region. Carolyn McNabb is going to be heading Roseville and Rockland, and Susie Bowers heading up Granite Bay. So these are people that you can reach out to if you have questions. They're like your immediate close connections. And if there's any issues beyond that, of course, it can go up to Rebecca at the admin Placer Artists Tour, placerartisttour.org. But the main reason we have regions really is networking, getting to know each other. And so the regional leaders will be having meetings or a group gathering just at the beginning soon, hopefully, where you will all get to know each other. And in that way, you can really recommend each other during the tour. You can say, hey, go to my neighbor down the street. This is what she does, because now you really know her and know what she does. And that just makes it so much more interesting.
Thank you so much, Janet. This is Patty.
There's Patty. She's
and I look forward to, yes, I look forward to getting together with the 45 Auburn artists this coming, so it'll be a week from today, actually. What's today? Thursday. Yeah, so it'll be June the 8th at my studio, and it'd be great if everybody came. I'd be surprised if everybody came, but I'll try to take some notes and send them out after our meeting. But it's very valuable to get together, as you said, and we'll keep it very short. And I'll have a few nibbles and waters. And so please come, write it down on your calendar right now for next Thursday. I will be sending out an email also. So yay, Auburn artists. We'll get together and make a good team. Thank you, Janet.
Thank you for setting up the artist group. That's great. The other category that the regional artists are really working hard on is helping out with the marketing. We do have Teresa Swerdlow as our marketing director, but if any regions have events within their region or something going on that would be interesting to our social media team and our publicity team, then you can funnel that through your regional leader as well. Also, the regional leaders will be coordinating sign placement effectively in November when you're pointing all different arrows, all different directions in your neighborhood. So that will be helpful too. Distribution is a huge part. Of course, we do have a distribution team and we distribute outside of the county, but it's really important to distribute within your region. You know, your local businesses, there will be postcards, guides, posters to put up. And so we're hoping that the different regions can take that on as a chore. But, and another big one we've already mentioned too is mentoring. We have 30 new artists and they really need some help and some direction. And we're lining up a couple of other people who would be able to help answer questions. We're also having this meeting that Karen mentioned just for the new artists at the Gomez, and I believe it's on the 17th of July. We'll be getting an email out to the new artists for that too, because that way we don't have to talk about tips to all of you who are very experienced. We can get together with the new artists and just answer questions and talk about how to prepare for the tour. And the other thing regions will be working on is helping with sponsorship, and Janet Palig will be talking to that in a few minutes. So that's what I know about the regions. And if you have any questions, you can speak up.
Why don't Susie Bowers here and Sue Bordelon and Tracy, maybe let them say a few words.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. If anyone's here, like, you know, Patty spoke up, any of the regional leaders, it'd be great if you could say hello and introduce yourself.
I'll go first. I'm Susie Bauer. Hi, Karen Burns. Hi, Joe. And welcome new person, Karen Keats. Hopefully we're going to try to get a meeting together in the next couple of weeks. So I will be sending out an email and just getting us all together and brainstorm about how we want to present Granite Bay during the tour. Thank you.
Thank you, Susie. Susie is really the expert. She's wonderful for mentoring regional artists, leaders, anybody who has a question. She's a good go-to.
Yeah, Tracy and I are going to try to do it like Susie. So you've probably got the artists in the Loomis, Newcastle, Penryn area, got some emails and some calls today. And we're circling around a time that we might be able to get together and meet up with each other. I'm trying to decide if we're going to have more of a format where we kind of go to a couple of different artist places so that we can get to see what your studios and art looks like, or if we'll just stay in one spot. But thanks so much for your conversations and response today. You want to say something, Tracy?
Hi there, I'm Tracy Annette Cottengim. My studio name is Tracy Annette Studio because my last name gets butchered. So I'll put it in the chat with my phone number. And I am covering with Sue. We're covering Loomis is where I'm at. Penryn is right next door. In fact, I just went on a bike ride to Penryn today. And then I've got Newcastle. So I'm really looking forward to helping out during this tour. If you want to text me, that's probably the easiest way to get a hold of me. I do check my emails, but I'm not the type of person that's riding a bike or driving a car looking at my emails. So text is probably the best way to get a hold of me. I know that Sue and I are going to be meeting with the regional artists that we're covering, and we will be asking you questions on what's the best method of communication, because I find that a lot of people don't want to read their emails. They want it going straight to their phone these days. So, and yeah, like what Susie said, we would like to meet with you soon. The sooner the better. It's already June 1st, and we do have that deadline of June 30th for our sponsors to get everything in order too. So yes, just be looking for some communication from me. It'll be coming from my Gmail, tracyannettestudio@gmail.com, and I'll put that in the chat. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Tracy. Yeah, that's a great idea for the regional leaders to go ahead and put their information in the chat if you'd like. Will be more coming out. Oh, Carolyn's here. See, I
I'm
can't
here.
see,
Yeah,
I can't
hi.
see everyone, so I didn't realize you were there. Thanks, Carolyn.
Yeah, welcome to the Rockland Roseville group. And like the other groups, we'll be meeting pretty soon. We want to talk about postcards. And if we want to have a pre-show somewhere in our area, and then looking at good sponsors and, you know, all of the above that everyone has said. So you will also be hearing from me within the next like week or so, and we'll find a date when we can meet. I have a beautiful backyard. We'll squeeze everyone in. There's only 15 of us, not like Auburn. I can't imagine 45. Anyway, so you'll hear more. And if you have any questions, please feel free to text me or call me or email me. I'll put my information in the chat. Thanks.
We have a handout.
Can I ask a question?
Thank you.
Hi.
Suzanne?
Hey, can I just say something about the postcards? I went to mail them last year and they're not postcard prices, they're full stamp prices. So I don't know if that makes a difference to anybody, but I was a little bit surprised because they were called postcards. And I did mail out about 100 of them.
Oh,
So,
boy.
yeah.
Now the prices have gone up. It's
We
almost
might,
better to hand
we
them out.
might be able to help with nonprofit rates on postcards this year.
And we often
Yeah.
found it was just handy to have them at like the hot chili and cool cars or whatever functions that you could
Right.
be at to hand out and give to people. They're useful.
Yeah, they're probably best for handouts, really, when you think about it. So I don't think Barbara Ann is here or Gia, but I think we heard from all the rest of the regional leaders. And we really appreciate all your hard work. It's a huge job and it makes it so much easier for our small team.
Okay, so where are we on our agenda here?
Want to hand it off to Janet Palig for
Yes.
sponsorship. And Janet doesn't seem to have gotten her video going, but Janet, if you can unmute yourself.
I just
There
did.
you are.
Okay, well, welcome everyone. Sponsorships. It's the meat that drives the engine. Our goal is to gain sponsorships to obtain funds for operating expenses and also to maintain a reserve each year. We need around $50,000 to $60,000 as a goal or more if possible. So to start it off, we're asking each artist to obtain at least one $100 friend sponsor. But you don't have to stop at one. You could get more than one if you would do so. That would be great. If you have someone in mind that you want to go ask, if you let me know who they are so that we can make a list of those, either entities or individuals. That way that, you know, we'll know if somebody else says, well, they're going to go to the same person or entity, that I can tell them someone has already gone there so that there's no duplication in asking. Because sometimes people get a little irritated if they're asked the same question by 2 or 3 artists. This year, the Dine and Drink, which is connected with either a brewery, a winery, a coffee house, or a restaurant. They're $100 sponsorship. However, and then their logo goes on a particular or a special page within the guide. If one of those 4 entities wishes to have a higher sponsorship, say $250 or higher, not only will they have the possibility of having an ad, but their logo will also go on that same page. And this year there's going to be a hello. Oh, this year there's going to be a QR code on it, noting that coupons could be available, or a possibility to be available. Because we're all in a Zoom meeting, not to worry about the forms. The Drink and the Dine and Drink and the Friend forms will be sent out to you after orientation. And you can look the other forms up at placerartiststour.org/sponsor on our website. Let's see. There's also a document discussing sponsor talking points that upon request will be sent to you as well. And I'm not sure, Karen, is that on the website as well?
No, that'll come in an email.
Okay. The most important date is June 30th. Any sponsor obtained before or by that date will be listed in the guide. Otherwise, they'll be listed in all the other marketing material, but they just won't be in the guide. And I think the goal is to look at the guide as a year-round booklet that is on a coffee table that people can refer to all year long. So it's handy if their ads or their listing as a friend is in the guide. A lot of people don't like to ask for sponsors. However, nothing. If you don't try, you have no clue if somebody wants to sponsor or not. Just sort of put your shoulders back and ask. If they say no, it has nothing to do with you. It probably is they either have spent all the money for donations or sponsorships already, and they didn't know they were going to be asked for the tour, or they only donate to a certain group of people, such as health food companies versus the arts. Their discretionary funds have been spent. And so one thing to do, if you can, is ask them why. The answer is no. If the, let's see, if the answer is no, ask them if they can do it, if they'd be interested in doing it next year. And if so, maybe in a more appropriate time, because most businesses put their budget together at the end of a given year for their next year. And if they don't know they're going to be asked for a sponsorship for the tour, they probably have not put that in their budget. To recap the sponsor levels, there's 250 is a Dolly, 500 is a Rodin, 1,000 is a Cassatt, 2,500 is a Da Vinci, 5,000 is a Van Gogh. And if you think that there's somebody that you know that will sponsor 250 and above, you can, but you need help, you could ask either Janet Nicholson, Karen Killebrew, or myself to help you in either going out and talking to the individuals with you there, or if you would prefer one of the three or more of the, a group of us to go, we'd be happy to do that and to help you. This year, for artists that want to place a sponsorship for 250 and more, will receive a 20% discount, which is really generous. And so, that we're hopeful that artists will look upon that as a good thing to do, is to have an ad about their artwork in the guide.
That also applies to galleries and schools too.
Oh, okay. So again, all I can say is if you could really consider going out and getting one friend, at least one friend sponsorship, we'd be grateful. And if you have any questions about how to go out and do that, you've never done it before, you can give me a call and I'd be more than happy to share with you how I do that. Are there any questions on sponsorships?
Yeah, let's see. Charlotte asked what contact for a donor. Charlotte, I'm not exactly sure what you meant by that. Do you want to?
Oh, unmute?
Oh, you're
Yeah,
unmuted. Yeah, go ahead and explain that question, please. But now you're muted. Now you are muted. Oh, Charlotte. Charlotte. You accidentally muted yourself.
Well, I'll ask
Sorry.
the question while she's
Okay.
figuring out how to unmute.
Okay, here she
Oh,
is.
I
She's
did,
here.
I just unmuted, I think.
Yes, you did.
Yes.
Let's
Yeah,
hear it.
okay. So when I asked my neighbor, do you want to donate? And he says, yes, I'd like to, and I'd love to have my name in the guide, etc. Who do I have him contact?
So can I answer that? We're going to send out a sponsored email to all of you next week with this information about the 20% discount, pointing you to the website. And then we do have, for the Friends sponsorships, we have some little cards that we have at our office that you can carry with you for people like that, Charlotte. So maybe we can get the regional leaders, I think, pretty much all picked those up last week.
Okay,
So
I'll
you
get it
could
from
contact
Gia.
your regional leader and get those. And again, if anybody has any questions, Janet Palig is definitely your source. She's our sponsor
Okay.
chair. And Janet P, maybe you could just email in the chat.
All right, I will I will attempt to do that.
I
Okay.
wanted to say that also there is a button on the website. If you go to that Placer Artist Tour,
Oh,
placerartisttour.org/sponsor, there is a
Mhm.
Friends of the Tour button. So if you don't have one of those cards, which could actually be emailed to you as well afterward, but you can direct them to the website for the Friends button.
And
Yeah, I
will-
posted the sponsor link on the chat there too.
I
and we'll
knew
be
it was
giving
there
you more
someplace.
information.
Thank you.
Okay. So now I'll go into insurance, business license, and resale number.
Oh, could I ask a question first, Janet?
Oh, sure.
Because they had mentioned about galleries, and I noticed in our region, we had a couple of galleries listed as part of our region, schools and galleries. Do you already have people from your sponsor team that are linked to those galleries because you've identified them? Or is that something that we should divvy up amongst us artists in the region?
I would suggest that you let us know which galleries they are.
Okay, I'll
So,
send you an email.
So
I
send me
think,
an
Sue,
email and then
I think Sue's question has to do with the galleries and art schools that are already signed up for the tour. Those are the ones that are listed on your list, Sue. And
Yeah,
those people
right.
will also be getting that email next week about sponsorship.
Okay, so we don't need to canvass them.
No.
Okay, thank you.
any other questions? All right, for insurance.
Yeah, Jay has a question.
Oh, sorry.
Well, no, Jay doesn't have a question. Jay's just waving her hands around.
Okay. So for insurance, because we're a very litigious society, it's essential that each of us have our own liability insurance, so that if somebody, let's hope it doesn't happen, trips and falls in your studio and injures themselves, they then would talk about that with you and your insurance company, and not the tour's insurance company. So if you have questions about liability insurance, I'll suggest that you call Steve Galliard. His last name is Galyard at George Peterson Insurance Company. And his phone number, and I'll attempt to put this in the chat thing too, is 530-823-3733. Or you can go on the web at www.eventhelper.com to gather some information on liability insurance. For a business license, you need to have to be on the tour, you need to have a business license to sell products within the county in which you reside. And the last one is a resale number. If you, everybody needs to have a resale number. And if you don't have one, if you can contact the California Department of Tax and Fee Administration at 800-400-7115. then you can set up and apply for a resale number. There's no cost for it. And probably the only monetary question that I remember ever being asked was, how much do you think you will sell within the first year? And that question goes back to whether you would file a tax return monthly, quarterly, semi-annually, or annually, as to whatever the figure is that you would put down. But if you don't have a resale license or resale number, and somebody from the tax department comes in your studio and finds out that you don't have one, it actually could close the tour down. They're really quite strict about that. Are there any questions about those 3 items?
I just wanted to give a little push for the event helper because they actually will do insurance just for the tour. It's an event insurance and it's very well thought of. So if you don't have a business insurance, but only a homeowner's insurance, you want to check with your policy because some homeowners insurance won't cover you if you're selling your art. They would consider that a business. And then you might need to look into the event insurance just for the tour. And that's the eventhelper.com.
Yeah, and I'll be sending out a note about that, about the event helper
Okay,
insurance.
thank you. Any more questions?
I have a question. On the business license, you said it needed to be through the county. So
It-
if you have a business license through the city of, in my case, Lincoln, that doesn't count?
No, that should work.
That
Yeah.
should be fine.
Yeah,
Okay.
I have a question. My reseller's number is through Sacramento County because I live in Citrus Heights, but I'm going to be selling in Placer. Do I need to get a temporary number for Placer?
Yes,
that's
please.
that's a California license. So you should be good.
It's my understanding that if you sell at another location, I have like 35 of them because of where I go within the state. But I can call, if you want me to, I can call and confirm that.
Yeah, I was confused as to whether I needed to apply for a temporary one just for this event.
Okay, my answer would be yes, you do. It doesn't cost anything.
I have a question also.
All right.
I'm selling at Lucinda Laughlin's.
Uh-huh.
So I think all I need is the resale number. Is that correct?
Yes.
Because she'll have the liability and needs a business license.
No, you'll need your own insurance.
Oh, I will.
Mhm.
Okay. Own insurance. Okay, thank you.
Sure.
And you need your own resale license too, Bobby.
Yep.
Yeah, resale number. Yeah.
Right.
Okay, thanks.
Sure. Anything else? Don't hesitate to give me a call if a question comes up later.
Is there a ballpark cost for the weekend event insurance?
$100.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, are we ready to move on?
Yes.
Okay. I'm covering for Teresa Swerdlow tonight on marketing. But before I talk about marketing, I wanted to just address the volunteer issue. We are doing volunteers differently this year and trying to arrange personally with volunteers that have specific skills that we need. And so sometime in the next month, we probably aren't going to start using volunteers right away, other than a few, but we're just right now assessing our needs and our numbers, and we will be sending out an email with some of the needs that we have for events and other things that are going to come up during the year. So if you're interested in volunteering for some of those specific things, we will have an online log to log your hours, and at the end of after the tour, we'll rebate $75 to those who have filled a 5-hour obligation. And if you have any questions about the volunteers, just send them to admin@placerartisttour.org, and Rebecca has been keeping a kind of a log of people that are interested in what they're interested in doing. So marketing, first of all, in the last couple emails you got for the orientations and welcoming you to the email, there was a link to a new Facebook page that Teresa has set up. It is only for 2023 tour participants. So if you are on Facebook, we would appreciate it if you would follow that page. We're going to use that sort of to tag team the emails so that we make sure that everybody is getting the information that you need in a timely fashion. If you're not on social media, it's email, email, email. Watch your email. I would suggest you put admin@placerartisttour.org into your contact list so that those emails don't end up going into a promotions folder or a spam folder. We are going to be, Teresa has a lot of really exciting marketing tips, and those are going to be available in the artist resource section of the website. When that's ready, I would say late June, early July, you'll get an email pointing you to that and listing all the resources you can find there. As you've already heard from the regional leaders, those groups are going to be working with you directly on regional postcards, preview shows, and all the graphics, all the tour graphics are going to be available through that artist resource page. We really are very particular about branding of the tour. Every event connected with the tour needs to contain our logo. We have a 30th anniversary logo. We also have a little, what I call a splat. It's a little leaf that says 30 on it. So there's, a lot of resources, and Teresa is really super excited about working directly with any artist that wants help with designing personal emails and personal email template with information about you. So you'll be hearing from her about that shortly. We will be ordering new signs for all the new locations for the tour. And as we did last year, we'll make available to you to order additional signs if you feel like you need more than the 3 signs that we provide to each location. We also are going to be doing the feather flags again, and also the banners, so that all of that ordering will take place later in the year. And that's, again, something you can work within your region to determine the placement of signs. Susie Bauer has brilliant ideas about getting groups of artists together and, prowling the intersections and figuring out the best places to put multiple location signs. We have a number of great marketing partners that we're working with. Auburn Symphony, Placer Land Trust, the Placer Wine and Ale Trail, and they all are working with us on events. Last year, the Auburn Symphony reimagined their first concert of the season, which was called Symphony in the Park, and reimagined it as Symphony and Art in the Park. We're going to be doing that with them again this year on September 16th. We will be sending a separate call to artists for that event. Last year we tag teamed with Gold Country Fair, but we're not doing Gold Country Fair this year. So we'll make sure you get plenty of notice for that exhibit at in Auburn. And then Placer Land Trust, we just mentioned, we did 2 plein air and photography days at Big Hill Preserve, and everyone will be invited to participate in that show at the Gomez, July 1st to 30th. Anyway, that's the things we have figured out so far. We have some other ideas. Actually, I think I'm going to let Janet Nicholson tell you about her most exciting idea. Go, Janet, unmute yourself.
Oh, you mean about October 21st?
Yeah.
Yes, I have that on my list for my next part, which is the important date.
Well, you could just take over now. I think I'm done with marketing.
Okay. Teresa's great with she's really handling the social media with the team too, which we didn't really mention. And it's very important in social media that you join Facebook, Instagram, so that you can be tagged in these posts and help get the word out. You can comment up to, I think it's 4 words makes a difference if you comment, and share things out with each other as things ramp up. They're going to start probably in another 15 to 30 days. They'll be posting almost every day something from each artist and school and gallery, and hopefully cover the sponsors as well. So you'll hear more from Teresa on that as time goes by. Anyway, my next little part is announcing the important dates. You don't really have to write these down because they were mostly listed in that email that you got about the orientation. They will be coming out again in the follow-up email after the orientation. They will be listed in the artist resources and also on that new Facebook page that Karen mentioned. But one thing that's not listed that you haven't seen yet, really, we got to thinking about Ginny Krebs, who is our designer of the guidebook. And as she progresses with the design, we really want to make sure that every artist, gallery, and school are looking at the results and proofing for us to make sure everything's correct. So the map proof Ginny's working on right now that we've finished the locations, we know where everybody is. So she's in the process of assigning numbers, and she will send out a map proof in June. This is just for the guidebook, so it's a very general map. The website will have Google Maps and more detail for people, but we want to make sure we're not leaving anyone out or making a mistake. So that's mid-June. And then toward the end of June, early July, we'll be also sending another proof out to artists about their information to make absolutely sure that everything that we have in the guide is correct. Address, email, phone numbers. Sometimes things change between now and then, or between your application and then. So we have to double check that. And then the final page proof will be toward the end of July. And we send out your page that you're on. So you see the whole picture and a final proof of everything. The reason I'm mentioning this now is we just want to make sure nobody misses out. You know, say you're traveling. Hopefully you can just keep your eyes open for an email about proofing at those in June and July. And then, of course, we do know all about the potluck, which we have scheduled for September 19th, the same place we've had it for the last few years. And the Rockland Fine Arts has secured it for us again. It's the garden room at the Rockland Event Center, entrance at the back. And the reason it's important to go to the potluck is, again, networking, getting to know your artists. We want it to be a fun event, casual event, but you also have all of your materials to pick up, your signs, your flags, your guidebooks, your postcards, your posters, and then you're off and running to help get the word out. So I'm hoping to see everyone there. The other really important thing coming up is the Taste of the Tour preview show, and I'm sure most of you are familiar with that. I won't run through all these dates, but this will come to you. The pick up, drop off, the applications online coming up in October. It's opening October 21st. And okay, I will share my exciting news. October 21st is a Saturday, and that's their third Saturday reception. But we're excited that we have Stan Padilla on the tour this year. I don't know if you're familiar with him, but how do you say? He's a big man in town.
He's on here.
Stan is here. Oh, Stan is here. Oh, that's fantastic. We were excited to talk with Stan a couple days ago, and we would love to do a blessing of the artists during the opening October 21st. So more news will come out when we decide how we're going to do it and what we're going to do. But I just really wanted to do something very special and kind of spiritual and bonding all the artists together since we're celebrating 30 years now. And we're a strong arts community, and this really will help bring everyone together. So thank you very much, Stan.
Thank you, Stan.
Yeah, that's exciting. The show goes all the way through at Blue Line Arts, all the way through the tour from the 21st to the 19th, the last day of the tour. And then on the 20th, when you pick up your work, we also have a wrap-up meeting. And I know everyone is absolutely exhausted, but it's really the best time to get the raw data out of everyone, good or bad. So that's on that last pickup day at 1 p.m. and we hope everyone can attend that. The reception is November 4th, and a couple of years ago, we were kind of, whether or not we should invite the artists because we had the pandemic to worry about and our crowds to worry about. But now we're full on happy to invite artists, but we encourage them to bring a patron with you, because the whole purpose of the Taste of the Tour reception is not so much an artist celebration. That will be on October 21st. But November 4th is really about bringing the public in so they can pick up their guide, preview the show, plan their tour. And we do invite all of our sponsors and as many VIPs as we can convince to come at 4:30 for an early opening. So we really want to honor these people who are coming to the tour. And if you can bring a friend, a patron, a neighbor, that will just make all the difference in the world, because we really want them to come on the tour. Let's see, we already mentioned the Natural Wonders show through the Plein Air group, and also Symphony and Art in the Park. That will be coming out. I think the only other date to add that will be coming out is we did secure a new meeting for the artists that would like to be mentored, and that's at the Gomez, July 17th, 4 to 6. So you'll hear more about that. Those are the important dates, and you will be hearing those over and over again. So please mark your calendar. I just wanted to throw in here at the end real quickly, just two things that mean a lot to me at this point in the tour. And that is to make sure that you all are, I shouldn't say this, not procrastinating, but really starting to work on your body of work now, because if you have a great body of work going into this tour, you're going to be you'll be successful with that. There are many tips. We have a tips list of tips. It's like 3 pages long that's expanded over the year, and we're not going to go through that now. We'll probably mention some at the potluck, but that will be a document that will be in the artist resources. So you can, and we'll be talking it over in the new artist meeting too, to help everyone prepare for a successful tour. But the other thing I noticed when we went through our tour results and gathered all the information from last year and asked, how did you hear about the tour? It's really reinforced that no matter what we do as a team here with our marketing, honestly, the majority of people who go on the tour are your friends and your neighbors and your patrons, and word of mouth, talking between, your artists that are nearby. Those are the people who are really going to come out and support you. So be working on your email list and your connections and networking through events that you're doing throughout the year to try to expand your group and get them out on the tour. And that's that. I guess we're nearing the end, so I should turn that over to Rebecca probably, and thank everyone for coming and open it up to questions, right?
Yeah, we'll open it up to questions. I see we have one question here. If we have an idea of how many guides we're going to be printing this year.
We're probably going to be doing 7,500 like last year. Same as
Okay.
last year.
All right.
Oh,
Any other?
and we have some left over, which we have taken to the visitor center as an evergreen publication, but also we have some at the office for new artists to see what the tour is like, and for sponsors who might want to see what the ad layouts are. So if you need guides for that purpose, you can get in touch with us.
And I noticed, go ahead.
Excuse me. Yeah, I just had a question. Nothing was mentioned about music. Is that going to be, are we going to help support musicians again, or is that Did that work out?
Want to? Okay, here you go. This is the sponsor push. We don't have the money for it right now. It is in the budget. So, and last year we got a grant for it. This year we won't get the grant for it. So last year we spent $2,000 having, let's see, it was 20 musicians at $100 each. We really want to do it. So that's something we need to work on with the sponsorships and see where we end up. So
Okay,
we would
that's a
like
good
to
question.
continue.
And my second question, I missed the date for the mentor meeting at the Gomez.
Oh, that's on the July 17th. That's a Monday. It's at the Gomez and the plein air show will be up, so you'll get to see that. And it's from 4 to 6.
4 to 6. Okay, thank you.
Let's
Thank
see,
you.
and then Jay had a question, and I don't know offhand the answer to this. Is the number on our patrons list? About how many patrons do we have on our list to approach?
Or email. How many have you collected? You're muted, Janet.
I still don't understand the question. How many emails are on our list?
Yes.
Patron list.
Our general interest list has 2,500 emails, about a little bit over 2,500. And, obviously, we're trying to add them all the time. We do have a link on our website for people to sign up, and every one of our emails, goes out with that link too. So direct people to our website. If any kind of communications you're doing, use the website, and people have an opportunity to sign up.
And
We've
everybody.
come a long
don't
way,
forget-
Jay.
Yeah,
Jay,
I
we've come
know,
a
it's-
long way in 2 years.
It's so exciting. I was just curious. And then remember, if anybody's doing shows, any of these amazing artists are out and about doing shows, to please get the postcards and when the guides come out, to take those to the shows with you and pass them out. And wondering also on the marketing, how did the billboard marketing go, where they gave us some of the free billboards, and is that going to be a possibility again for this year?
Well, on the survey, the billboards didn't even rank, sadly. So, I mean, the surveys weren't all inclusive, but they didn't make it, the billboard did not make it in.
Yeah,
on the
but
survey.
we only got a limited amount of surveys back
Mhm.
this year too. So hard to say. People don't like surveys.
Mm-mm.
We do have the Auburn billboard for sure this year. That's set in stone. The last couple of years, we were lucky to have electronic billboards on 50 and 80. It's really up in the air. You send the information to them. If they have a little blip and a little space, they'll pop it in there. So we've been lucky the last 2 years, no charge. So I'm sure we'll attempt to submit those once again.
And then we had another question here. Can we use last year's signs?
Yes, we are not ever again for a million years changing the branding. I think we've settled on a logo that will last forever. So yes, please use last year's signs. And I know that 3 was not very many for some locations, and people did resort to using the past signs that were from previous years, and that's okay. But I would suggest ordering more if you want to from Paradise Signs, and that information will come out later. Last year we did all new signs for the locations, and that was a big chunk of our budget. So we're only this year going to order signs for the new locations.
But people can purchase extra ones.
Right, from Paradise Signs, yes.
Yeah.
They're about $10 a piece, I think, under that.
Let's see. I don't see any other questions here. Does anybody else have any questions?
I wanted to throw in one more thing to think about. I actually put in for a small grant. I don't know if I'll get it, but encouraging interactive projects at the studios, the locations. I think we can get, the word out, and the public loves it. I know that Jay Stargard has had last year, did some amazing places where people could paint, and they had little demos where you could watch the process, and that was very well received. So, you know, I would encourage everyone to think of how they are going to be able to demonstrate, show their process. You know, you can have a video, you can set out your supplies, you can have just some kind of a fun project for people to participate in as they go through the tour. They love to get their hands dirty, especially the young folks.
We got a lot of positive comments about that from tour goers. They really love to see the process.
My question is, what is the deadline to put an ad in the guide?
June 30th.
June 30th. Okay, thank you.
This is Deidre. I just wanted to say I'm planning on doing a make and take, a whole table of make and take that, and the projects are similar to my intro art lessons. So it's kind of a step into the conversation about some of the classes that I teach. And anybody can get involved, and I'll be promoting that very heavily.
I think that's fantastic. And I think that if we have, you know, if people let us know who is doing the interactive projects, we can really get the word out.
And just to put a plug in for Recreate, I'll be getting many to most of my supplies from there. So it's affordable.
And they're gonna be a sponsor too, Deidre.
Awesome. That's perfect.
All right, well, it's 7:03, so it looks like we completed our meeting, I'm thinking, in just about an hour, which is awesome.
That was the plan. Yay.
Right. So if there are no more questions, let's go ahead and end the meeting. And I'm hoping I see
have
some
a
of you.
question.
Oh, one more question. Okay, let's hear it.
Oh, I thought I heard that we were going to have a new design on the signs and 3 per location. And then I heard towards the end that their signs will only be given to the new artist.
New locations.
New locations.
Yeah, if you're on the tour last year, you should still have your signs.
Janet, I have a question on that. I turned mine in, every single one of them.
Okay, we do have some in the office stored, so as we get closer, we will put out some sort of an email request to see who needs what and try to work through all that. So
Yeah.
not to worry, but we are not changing the design. It's the same sign.
Yeah, I don't care if I get the old ones, I just turned them in.
Thank you for that.
All right, any more questions? Comments? Thank you all so much for attending. Yes, thank you. And I will see you soon somewhere. All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
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 Leaving.
I don't even know how to turn it off. There it is. Bye.